I was thinking of what to talk about next. So not everything is in actual order, like exactly of what happened in first, second, or last, or whatnot. Well, except for the first one, I did that actually happened first. Um, so I thought I just couldn't think, but so I guess I was getting to some of the meaty ones. So the first time I got like the first commercial I got. So when getting out, so when out, when going out, when going out, when I left Florida, I got there, and I think it was like within six. It's like in the 6 month of being there, I got a rep and or agent, whatnot, agent manager and stuff like that. And from what I was hearing from people when I was there, was just like, because you kind of want to know what's the average timeline of people, like, when does somebody get their first agent or manager? When does somebody book their first, thing? And how fast does usually people get before they, turn SAG in the union and all that stuff like that? And gonna find out 6 months is a little is quick. So it was a small agency out in Koreatown, and I remember going out. They had me do 2 monologues, so I did the 2 monologues, and they signed me. So I'm like, all right, cool. So at the beginning, things was like, it was small stuff that I would go out for and everything, and then as they build themselves, they got bigger and bigger and bigger. My stuff got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I remember it had to be, it was only like, this was 2014, so I was only there for like, not even the 2 years, because I got there in 2012 in August. I got 2012 in August. So 2014, you would think 2 years, but it was like a year and a half. So I remember going out for the audition. It was USAA Military Insurance. Remember going and doing all the stuff, getting called back, doing it. So the thing with this one was the fact that the director was in there, and they also had a military consultant, so an actual dude who was in the military who just makes sure everything's authentic. So I noticed when people were coming in, people were coming dressed up in military stuff. I didn't. I just go as comfortable as possible. It's their job to put me into that set of what I'm wearing and stuff like that. Because I ain't got military stuff, and I'm not going to go out and buy military stuff just for a one-time thing and pay. No. But apparently, it's not good etiquette if you are in the military to wear your military stuff to stuff like that, especially if you're not working on duty for that day or something like that. So a lot of people would. So the military consultant dude was getting pissed at people if they were. And then when people would go out and buy these military suits, probably from like Goodwill or something like that, he would ask them what, they would ask, did you ever serve? And I was, no, because I didn't. So some people were saying, yeah, thinking, oh, he's just gonna ask, I'm gonna say, yeah, that's it. So I guess asking you out, ask what branch and all. The dude's in the military, so he's gonna ask, where and when did you serve and all this stuff like that. I wasn't ever in the room next to somebody when they said it. I would have loved to been and hear them mess it all up. I almost cussed. But I wasn't. But he told me later that people were. So remember doing it. And after I did the second one, went out, and I was going to Vegas. It was March, because I remember it was March Madness. Me and my homeboy Phil, we went to Vegas for March Madness, and we're chilling out in Vegas. So it had to be maybe like the second day of Vegas. We were in a hotel just watching the games, and I totally forgot. And I get a ring on my phone, and they were just like, it's between you. First they called and said it's between you and somebody else. Perfect. Narrowed it down between me and somebody else. Then maybe like a few hours later, I got the call saying, it's you. and stuff. So I'm psyched. I just hit, I didn't care that I didn't hit in Vegas. I just hit, literally I did hit in Vegas. So so I'm excited. Cool, perfect. Get all that stuff done. I got Taft-Hartley. If you Taft-Hartley, it is apparently, of course, there's somebody named who name was Taft-Hartley. So what it is basically when joining the SAG union, the typical, I guess the typical or the I call it the hard way. The hard way is you work. This is the thing. You have to work SAG jobs to become SAG eligible to join the union. So what usually happens is you got to get work three SAG jobs while you're not union, while you're non-union. You got to get 3, get vouchers for it as well too. And when you get 3, then you can join the union. So you can do like 10, 20 damn things, but they got to give you the vouchers. And when you get 3, then you can join. Or you can get Taft-Hartley, buy a production, skip all that, and then you're eligible to join the union. So when you get Taft-Hartley, you're protected under the union, you get union rates and all that stuff like that, which is the best. So so that happened. So again, this all is in March, getting that done. I remember January, February, March, April, May. We didn't shoot the thing until June? May? No, I think it was like the end of May. I think it was the end of May we shot, maybe. We shot the end of May, something like that. And I remember first going into wardrobe for the day. We went to wardrobe, we get the fitting, all that stuff like that. And that's when the dude told me that people were coming in dressed with military stuff, wasn't in the military, but said they were. So that got them cut from the whole thing. He just said, you were honest. I mean, I was just telling the truth. I wasn't part of the military. Then for wardrobe, we did wardrobe, the military dude was like, well, I want to teach y'all like some military stuff so you're set and ready. I kid you not, dude had a helmet with the boots. We didn't have the guns, but we had the helmets and the boots, and he was teaching us about like, the whole command, the go, the everything, out in a parking lot in the sun. But the longer we were there, I didn't realize that for the work, we got paid for it. So we were there, granted. I mean, if we just did wardrobe, we'd probably been there for maybe like 20, 30 minutes. But with this, I think we did like for 3 hours. I walked out with like a $300-400 check. He could have kept me there for longer than that for all I care. I just didn't know. It was a shock to me. So, hey, hey, call me back whenever you need me. So after that, we leave, and then we go to day of shooting. So I still remember day of shooting. I got up. So I'm supposed to be there because we're the lead. Like we were the lead. I'm the guy. Me and we the guy. So we're supposed to be there like I think it was like 6 o'clock, early in the morning. So it was like way east. So it was like in that San Dimas area. Yeah, San Dimas, like Bill and Ted's. Like it was out there. It was past that. It was in Riverside. It was out in Riverside. So Riverside's maybe like an hour drive east in Valley past Pasadena, all that stuff. So head out that way. I get there so early, like no production trucks, no nothing. So I'm thinking like I'm in the wrong spot, but I'm like, I have to be. I'm like, this is the only address in the GPS. So I parked the car in this place, and like no lights, no nothing. I just see like animals and stuff running across the thing. Scary. Probably the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life. Because it looked like straight out of a horror movie. But maybe like a few minutes later, the sun started coming up, and some production trucks start coming and everything like that. So I'm like, oh, thank God I'm in the right spot. So they get there. And when everybody's there and all that stuff like that, everything's up, we go, they have us in the trailer, and they have us sign the paperwork and do all that stuff like that. So sign the paperwork of who checks go to. And then they had us re-put on the stuff. So the thing is that it was Vietnam. We were supposed to be like we're Vietnam in the Vietnam War. So, me, I'm trying every excuse because what they're trying to decide is, does my mustache have to go? And I'm thinking, like, this was Nam. I think, brothers had the fro and everything in Nam, so it should have been, but just for anything, Kate, they had me shave it all off. And me with all this is funny. So saved all that. Then I put on the clothes, and I mean, like, it was like the things were paper thin. And all I had was on the pants and then the underwear underneath it. And then I just had on just the shirt, no undershirt, no nothing, just the shirt. The helmet was 10 pounds. The gun was 10 pounds. They put a pack on me that was 10 pounds. So I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. So the military dude is there and everything. And so we getting ready. We finna go out. So remember, I got there like at 5, 6. By the time we got all this stuff around, it was coming close, like the sun was out. So it had to be around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So good little while. Everybody sat. So me, the other dude, and then you had like, it was like 4 other background dudes they were military because they were friends of the consultant dude or whatever. So they were there. So I'm thinking, you know what, we often hop in a golf cart and go where they set up. Because they would set up a little distance. So people pull up in the golf cart, okay, yeah, we were here, we pick up them and we take them to the thing. And the dude was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. He was like, I want to march them down there and get them into character. I'm just like, I'm like, we have no lines. I understand, like, listen, I'm in character. I got like 30, 40 pounds on me. And the sun's out, I'm gonna be sweating. I have no problem with getting into character. But this dude had us march in a line with these guns down to where we were going. So we did. We literally marched down there in a line, go everything. So we go, and we get down there. The director's down there with the camera and everything. But I noticed the director had his pant legs rolled up and was inside a river. I'm just like, if he's in the river, I'm gonna be in the river. And damn for sure that's just what happened. So first we was walking through like the high grass type kind of stuff that comes out of a river, the high grass. So we're coming through those out into the open, walking through really low bit of water I mean, not even like so higher than your soles on the shoes, but your feet got wet, and you know how you hate that my socks wet and my shoes wet feeling. So we walking through the water and that's the shot. We just coming through the marsh, doing that thing, and the thing was like having trust. So me and the other dude, we're like doing these shots where we would go back and we would look to make sure the other dude behind us nod, boom, trust. So then we would switch off, do the same thing the next person would do it. So I'm thinking, cool. You know what? This is it. It's cool. Nah. So the next shot was us in the river. And when we were, and I say now in the river, the water came up to my waist. And I'm talking about flowing, like a good flow, maybe like a good 2-3 miles an hour flow of water in the river. And the sand on the bottom wasn't like stable, like you would step and your feet would shift down in there. So it was like you stepping and trying to control yourself at the same time because the water's pushing you and the sand ain't stable. So next what we're supposed to do is the 4 of us, I forgot how many of it, coming, stepping out of the bank up onto like the thing of the water, and then the other dude is grabbing our hand and pulling us out. So trust about them pulling us out. But like I said, the thing was up to my waist. So if that was up to my waist, the ground was up to my waist. So I'm talking about like you had to put your leg up there and have the dude pull. So the first 2 takes, they go, the dudes, because they know each other, it's the background, so they knew each other helping us up. So in the last one helped up the other dude. So I'm the last one. No. The other dude was the last one. So when the background dudes finished, they were like, oh, well, we helped up our people. So I would have to get up. So the first one I got up with and I had to like barely step up there by myself. And when I stood the first foot, I went like this and stopped and almost went back, but caught it because I almost ate it. So the first 2 takes, that's what happened. And then after the third one, I was like, hey man, I just want to, let y'all know, is it okay if I get some help coming out the river? I like totally forgot about us. So the next one is they pull us up and stuff like that. So that was that shot, doing that. We did that maybe like 10, 15 times. Then Then the director had us get back into the river, go across the bank across, jump down into the river, and then jump and come back out just how we did again. So we did that maybe 10, 15 times a piece between me and the other guy. Then he had us like, you know what? I want a shot of y'all coming down the river. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure it was a badass shot, and I wish I could have seen like the photos because it was like a predator type kind of thing coming down the river with these guns. I literally wish I could saw the pictures because even the dude, the photography thing said he was bad, but he never sent me the photos, and I wish I would have got to see him. But to get up the river, we were in the water and we had to go against the current. So doing this so many times, man, my body was drained. So we got in that river around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We didn't stop until 11 something. So we're in that water for a good 2-3 hours. 2-3 hours. And I was done. If you know that feeling that you've been in the pool all day swimming, but that was half of the day. So granted, we got lunch. They went to the Walmart or something like that, bought us brand new socks so my feet was dry, and we went to go get lunch. So lunch was dope because lunch was like, oh no, you know what? Let me tell you about breakfast. So when I first got out there before we signed all the papers and stuff like that, when I knew I was in the shit. So like after we finished signing the paper, we came out. They were like, go get breakfast and stuff so that way you can get dressed. There was a long line for breakfast. I'm just like, I'm starving. So when we go up to the thing, like the production and everything comes up, say, hey, everybody move out the way. The principals or the main actors are coming to get breakfast. So the whole line had to disperse. And I went up and I felt bad because like everybody had to move out the way. And I went to go up and the dude, because like you say, they hired the food truck dude, and it's whatever you want. I was like, can I get a sausage, eggs, bacon, and cheese sandwich? Straight out, boom, done. Didn't have to pay no money, and that's it. So that was breakfast. So lunch pulled up, same thing, a truck, but this truck was in there throwing down like New York marinated steaks, grilled chicken, and all this stuff with like asparagus, and they can keep that, and stuff like that. But there was also a dude hand making sushi. Like he was in this thing where like the table was just circled around him where he had to go under it, and he was just making sushi and put it on the thing, and you just came and grabbed and go. So it was like everything was just straight out legit. So that was lunch. So after lunch, we go to the next location. So the next location was just nothing but always just like trees. And where we parked at, it kind of looked like a big landfill. This is what it looked like, because it's mulch and there was just trees all behind it. So same thing. So we get back dressed and stuff like that. But this time we got to get in the golf cart and go to the location. So next we go and we in those trees where it looks just like jungle. And as we're shooting, man, it was hot. So what we were doing, the first shot was just kind of sitting on the thing and sharing the canteen with me and the other dude. And stuff, and at this time, I'm like, yo, I felt like I literally was in Vietnam. It was burning hot. But the thing that broke that was the fact that as soon as they yelled cut, this lady was like, anybody want to order a Frappuccino? It literally, handmade Frappuccinos was delivered right there, and people having Frappuccinos and stuff like that. Hollywood, man. But whatever you wanted. If I wanted to juice it or freaking squeeze it, I could have had it. So we're doing that in the bushes thing. And one of the things was, man, when we were coming down, stepping on these roots, and I was just nervous because you were stepping on the roots and I didn't want to twist my ankle and fall and bust my ass. And that was what most of the whole thing was. But at one of the parts, we were laying down on the ground, and what they wanted was to put this the helmet down like we were sleeping, and there was a dude and either me or the other guy, we were sitting behind us, pretending like we were on watch, while the other person get rest. So while I was doing the part when I was on the ground, I'm like this. Remember, I got these thin pants on and nothing but underwear. Like it was, I don't know what I was, but it was it was like the thorn vine was just poking my ass, man. Like it was just, so I'm like trying to pull it, but I don't want to grab it and have the thorns in my hand. So I'm just like uncomfortably like trying to raise my butt up as I'm like down, not all the way down, trying not to get the thorn. So on one of the takes, I'm down, I got it covered like this, and then cut. All right, so I get up, and like literally right here on my crotch is a spider. Thank goodness it wasn't a snake. So thank you for that. But yo, it just because I didn't want to hit the thing because I would injure my damn self. But I mean, it was just like, and getting it off and stuff. Cause man, we were in it. We were in the woods. But yeah, man, that whole entire day. So we were in that woods, man, for another good. Like I said, we got in there maybe like at 1, 2, and the day ended like at 8 or 9. By the end of it, I had a headache. Oh, I had the biggest headache. But of course, they had Advil and ibuprofen on board, so glad for that. So yeah. So that was so the day ended, and as we were leaving and stuff like that, we talked to the dudes, and at this point, I say this is my first time. And one of the dudes like, man, you guys are lucky, man. You guys got the principal role. I'm like, wow, what's up? They was like, because, man, like one of the guys, we were here, and he got turned into a principal. And yeah, man, at minimum, you're going to make 40 grand. I'm like, whoa, wait, what? He was like, yeah. These things, commercials, like every time they run, you get paid. Now we get it, because I'm rookie. I was rookie at times, so I didn't know. Yes, so with the national, when it's national, so different national, of course, if played all over the U.S. Regional ones, like think Publix. Publix is only in certain states, so Publix commercials are only in certain states, so that's a regional. National is the biggest you can get. Every time the things show, you get a day rate. So first you get a day rate, then you get paid for every time it shows, but also you get paid for because I was an insurance company, they paid me to not do another commercial for an insurance company. Hey, fine, cool, stuff like that. But I also didn't know they got paid me for print ad, and they paid me for internet. So the first check I saw, I'm like, oh, okay, but I forgot. I didn't notice that I scrolled up. There were 2 more of the checks underneath it. I almost threw up. Just seeing this money, I didn't know, and to know that these 3 was this was a set of 1. This set number 1. So there were more for a year. I would get these sets every month. Nuts, crazy. So cool. But yeah, that was. But like I say, that was one day, in a 30-second. I mean, literally, I even seen the commercial. It was maybe like 3, 4, 5 seconds. I was on there, and it took us 12 some hours just to shoot that. So, but great day. I would do it all over again. For sure. I mean, and it got me my SAG eligibility and stuff like that. So yes. So I went. So you never heard that story. I had to tell that story of the day of the first commercial. Since I can't remember, I think some other good stuff in between. The next one I'll tell. Shameless. I will tell it all of how that day of Shameless, when I booked Shameless. I'll give the tell all about that one, how that was, because I worked with Emmy Rossum that day, the one girl who plays Fiona, and I worked with the director Peter Segal, who did 50 First Dates, The Longest Yard, the newest one with Chris Rock and Adam Sandler. He did Tommy Boy, Grudge Match, stuff like that. He did that new Jennifer Lopez one, Second Date or Second something like that as well. Cool cat, cool dude, man. And stuff, but I'll give you the inside scoop on that. Will be the next story, but glad you listened to this one.